My name's James Ricker. I'm 23 years old and I'm an actor. This is a fence that's colorful. It represents me as a human. You welcome in to this colorful human being. That's what this does. You're welcome into this colorful house, this colorful lifestyle. I grew up on the North Shore of Massachusetts. That's north of Boston. 20 miles north, actually, in Beverly, Mass. That's across the sea. Because right now we're in Salem. It was a fun childhood. Until my brother broke my arm in the 6th grade. Downhill from there. That's when I started to act. That's when my brain became all messed up. The reason I started acting was I was watching Full House. And it was Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. They were like young, right? They were the babies. And I said, Mom, why don't they have to go to school? Must be nice to be them, right? So she's like, well, they act, they get paid to do that, they probably get homeschooled. I'm like, well, I want to do that. Like, I don't really want to go to school. And so then she just started looking for auditions for plays and musicals. And in 3rd grade, I was cast as Sheriff Tom in Hollywood Hillbillies. That was out in Middleton. I did a couple shows there in elementary school. And then my mom saw a audition for the North Shore Music Theater. So in 4th grade, I auditioned for the Carousel. And I beat out probably 100 or 200 children, but I didn't have any lines, so it was weird. So that was a great experience. That was a month. I got to miss school for it. Then I did in 5th grade, I tried out again, and I was in the Christmas Carol. I was the turkey boy. Had a couple lines in that one. It seats 800, so it was a big deal back then. I did all the middle school shows, just, school plays. And then in high school, I kind of took the acting off and I got into the film stuff. Filmed the football games and the basketball games and did commentary on those. And then college hit, started acting again. Thing about rock is, I like to describe myself as an actor as a rock. Because although it seems ugly on the outside, it stays strong and firm. And this rock has probably been on this earth since the beginning of time. And I like to think that I, as an actor, have been reincarnated through time, I think I'm William Shakespeare, John Candy, and Charlie Chaplin, all reincarnated, and now we have me. And I'm excited to see what I'm capable of. Auditions don't, there's very few auditions in this area, so you can't really, beggars can't be choosers with the characters they're having you audition for. So as an actor, I'd like to think I could play any character. Recently, I got a part I auditioned for at this show called Wonderful Town. I play the character Frank Lippincott, and he's kind of a nerdy character, and I don't see myself as a nerd. I find auditions through Boston Casting and Stage Source. You pay for a membership, which is usually like $100 a year. That's what the Boston Casting was, and Stage Source is like $120-ish. And they have a list of auditions Usually, Boston Castings, they don't do a lot of filming in New England, so Boston Casting, it's very, very few for commercials and movies and TV. So they'll let you know you're a member, so they treat you nicely. They'll email you, and let you know when the auditions are and stuff. I actually today just left an audition for Disney Radio in Boston, and then for theater also. I mean, there's more theater going around in the Boston area. I'm auditioning for Grease in a couple weeks. That's at the North Shore Music Theater, which is right down the street. For this upcoming audition for Grease, it's a musical. So they ask you to wear dance shoes and have 2 songs prepared. One of them being a more upbeat song and another one being a ballad, so a very slow-paced, song. So it's got to be contrasting songs so they can know that you sing this way and also sing another way. And so they'll have you sing, and I'm sure they'll have you do some basic dance steps along with acting, which I'm sure they're not too concerned about. They'll probably have you sing and dance before they call you back to do some acting and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I haven't been in the North Shore Music Theater in a while, so I don't know how they do their auditions. If it's just a one-on-one or 3 people on one, then it'll be fine for me. But if we're all in the same room auditioning, it's more nerve-wracking because you're auditioning in front of your competition basically, and that can be a little overwhelming. You let 5 seconds of fear go into your body. Count to 5 slowly, and then you let the fear out. Just let it go. Let it roll, baby. My name is James Ricker, and I'll be performing the monologue entitled Fact Checker by Gabrielle Davis. I'm not the kind of guy who spends hundreds on a last-minute flight back to New York, tears across town, then runs up 6 flights of stairs and knocks on his best friend's girlfriend's door in order to run off and elope with her based on one crazy, thoughtless, inexplicable romantic night. Once you do that, usually you do a cold read. The director will say, okay, play Johnny, go. He'll do that. And then after he sees your performance in the audition, he'll say, okay. And then he'll direct you, because what directors want is to know that you as an actor can be directed. Doesn't matter how good you read the monologue or you did the scene. If you did it amazing, the director, a good director anyway, wants to know that you can be directed. So he'll probably give you an objective or a circumstance and say, okay, you did that very well. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum, and can you play that character? And then he'll say the opposite of what you just did. And if you can be directed, or if you can listen to him and what he said and you do it, then he, in his head, will say, okay, this guy is a good actor, but also he is a good collaborator, and he's a good listener, and he's easy to work with. I'm not the kind of guy who spends hundreds on a last-minute flight back to New York, tears across town, then runs up 6 flights of stairs and knocks on his best friend's girlfriend's door in order to run off and elope with her based on one crazy, thoughtless, inexplicably romantic night. So what am I doing here, Audrey? I'm not passionate. I'm a fact checker, for Christ's sakes. And the fact of me being here doesn't check out. It's nuts. Soulmates? I don't believe in them, never have. So how can I be yours? The fact is, you hardly know me, and I hardly know you. Thank you. There are a lot of characteristics that a director wants in an actor to cast. You need to be easy to work with. You need to be a good actor, obviously, and then you need to be easy to work with. You need to have a flexible schedule, obviously. You need to, you need to fit the part. There's a whole list. There's a whole list to this. It just is. It's the way it is. Let me tell you one thing. The best food in the world is peanut butter. Protein. See how it's empty? Because I eat it every day. If you want to be an actor, you eat bananas and peanut butter and protein. That's it. So they set you up with a job list, job sites of where previous Emerson kids have interned, and I looked up Jeremy Renner's, and I applied. I talked to him on the phone. Not Jeremy Renner. I talked to his assistant on the phone. I had a Skype interview, and they hired me, which was awesome. Spent 4.5 months out there. So I worked for him. It's called the Combine. He did a partnership with Don Hanfield, and so they make they just started. It was created in 2010, so they've only been there for like 3 years. I would answer phone calls from time to time for one of the executive, or the vice president actually. I was an intern, so I read a lot of scripts, did a lot of coverage. As an actor, as a director, as a producer, even as a writer, in the industry, you're always reading scripts, and reading scripts are like it's like Halloween and you go up to a house and they give out raisins. Usually it's always raisins. It's never really a Snickers or a Reese's, So that's what I was doing. I was eating raisins in LA most of the time. My future plans, I definitely want to go back to Los Angeles. My plans are up in the air. I want to act. You gotta get your foot in the door. So whatever it is, theater, film, TV, commercials. Just gotta build the resume up. In the meantime, I hope to get a job as a production assistant on like a TV stu set, or on a film set. A lot of freelancing out there. Living out in California is expensive, so hopefully find a couple roommates, have an apartment that's not too bad in a nice area like Santa Monica. When I was out there, I lived in Burbank, which is a little far from downtown Los Angeles, and it's not too bad from Hollywood's smack dab in the middle, so it's too far from Hollywood, but Santa Monica's the place to be. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited to do some stand-up out in Los Angeles, Get that thrill. I did some stand-up in Boston. You just hit or miss with me, Get the crowd rolling, laughs galore, and then on next joke, laughs are dead. Dead silence, dead space. But I'm excited.
God's itching his head, and it's the danger floating down. Speaking of danger, I had Frosted Flakes for breakfast this morning. I also had a banana and some grapes.
I'm excited to do that, because that's a thrill. It's like going up a roller coaster. You're fucking nervous. Boom! You go down, pissing your pants with excitement. And that's what I'm excited about. Am I nervous to move to California and pursue my acting dreams? Are you nervous to climb Mount Everest? Do you ask the quarterback if he's nervous to play in the Super Bowl? What's the proper way to answer that? You know what his answer is? If he's smart, he says no, but he's fucking shitting his pants. Okay? But he's a winner. So no, I'm not nervous. I'm ready to rock and roll in the 3rd round, Mr. Trebek. Oh, I didn't see you there. This bush keeps the privacy of my house. Like, you can't see through this bush. Not in the summer anyway, because there's leaves. So if someone's walking by and say, oh, is that James Ricker's house? And then I can just say, nope, I can't see it because of the bush. If you want to be a performer, you get up on that stage and entertain! God! Maybe I'll become a guy who does stand-up and just travels the world and makes $10 an hour. Sleeps on a mattress on some guy's floor, eating Cheetos under the couch. Do not use door, so normally that means don't use it. It's a good life lesson. I'd hope you'd edit a lot of what I just said, because that was shenanigans. On this step last weekend, and I fell on my face right there. And bruised it up bad. And as an actor, you don't want to bruise up your face, because this is the moneymaker, right? Bad idea by me. You live and you learn. I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me. Cut it.